G'day everybody, I am the man, and I'm going to read a few poems to get a bit of warmth in here. So tomorrow morning I'm reading a poem down in Epic, so I just want to practice reading a few of my good ones. The first one is a sugar one. I've got diabetes, so I'm just trying to express myself through that. I'm not letting it get me down. I don't think it's getting me down at all. Here it is. Oh sugar, oh honey, honey mate. I have diabetes now. Thanks to you, you see, sugar. I got addicted to you, and now I have diabetes, and because of you, it started with broken teeth. Sugar's evil curse. Sugar, oh honey, honey mate. You see, diabetes is taking over now, thanks to you. You see, lollies and lollipops and soft drinks, Coke especially, it really made me rot my teeth. And because of my addiction, mate, I got diabetes, mate, thanks to you. You see, as I see all the kids who run around addicted to you, could make my diabetes strike me down. Sugar, oh please, honey, honey, you see I have diabetes now. Thanks to you, diabetes, come and change my life around worse flaming hell. Sugar, oh honey, honey, I have diabetes now. Thanks to you, sugar, oh honey, honey. I feel my friends are shooting me through the feet with like poison on my feet. And because of sugar, oh honey, honey, and the diabetes really driving me nuts. Ooh, ooh. Hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to do another one there. That was actually one because I was diagnosed with diabetes. I'm trying not to let it get down. I'm not actually drinking as much, any soft drink at the moment. Maybe a few little bits of sugar, but I'm not really having problems, so it's all right. Here's another. I'm going to read another one now. It's going to be party on, party on, party on. Listen to this. Just get you going. Party on, party on, party on. To music that is totally rad. You see, in those days, I was an alcoholic, mate. But now I am a relaxer on the couch. I love my life. I live my life. I don't want people to screw with me. I don't want people to ruin me. See, I want to go to Adelaide, Los Angeles, and New York to visit the main spots to love. Everybody likes me. They all think I'm cool. You see, I could be like David Cooper on my show The Coopers, or be the one to whip out Stewart with the belt. I could be Grant Dodwell on a country practice, or Terrence Elliott as well. You see, I want to bitch like John Becker. I want to sing like John Bon Jovi. I want to live forever. But if I am suffering, I will come to my next life. I am an artist, I'm a writer, I'm a poet and an entertainer. I want to live, I'm alive, it's my life. I want to remain an artist, a writer, and a poet and an entertainer in my next life, and any future lives that I have. Cool, man, eat my shots. Woo! Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, it gives you a rat's ass. Who gives a rat's ass, hey, cunt? Hey, mate. This is another one. I hope some people said this is not that inspiring, but who cares about inspiration? Inspiration goes, this one is. 6 feet under doesn't worry me. My body will be my dead, but my soul will be alive. You see, as long as I am walking and keeping me fit, able to party on all night, yes, that will be all right. You see, I might want to look young, live my life and have a lot of fun. It doesn't matter when I die. Who gives a shit? I go to my next life. In Katie Donnelly or Annie LeBlanc. Annie would be my great mate because she will be back with my grand. 6 feet under, doesn't worry me. My body will be dead, but my soul will be alive. You see, I want to be a popular dude, even in my adult life. But not like now. I don't want a mental illness. I don't want a disability. My next life will be cool and have cool friends. Feel cool, oh yeah. I can party on TikTok and Instagram. And I want my next life to be loved. And I want to have fun. Live life 6 feet under. Doesn't worry me. My body will be dead, but my soul will be. My goddamn soul will be alive. Hope you enjoyed that. This is a bit of a darker one. Don't watch it, kids. Get really scared of this one. But it's making fun of Ralph. Ralph Harris, bit of a pedophile. So listen, the pedos of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew were just beep kids. The pedo of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew were just beep kids. The pedos of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew were just beep kids. The pedos of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew were just beep kids. And now Mr. Jeff Epstein asked the pedos of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew to keep beep kids. Now Mr. Jeff Epstein asked the pedos of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew to keep beep kids. Now Mr. Jeff Epstein asked the pedos of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew to keep beep kids. Now Mr. Jeff Epstein asked the pedos of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew to keep beep kids. Now the fascinating coppers put their stimulated taser gun on the bitches of the Mr. Jeff Epstein, who asked the pedos of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew to keep beep kids. Now the fascinating coppers put their stimulating taser gun in the breeches of Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, who asked the pedos of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew to keep beep kids. Now the fascinating coppers put their stimulated taser gun in the breeches of Mr. Jeff Epstein, who asked the pedos of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew to keep beep kids. Now the fascinating coppers put the stimulating taser gun in the breeches of Mr. Jeff Epstein, who asked the pedos of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew to keep beep kids. And now if the paparazzi wants to get a picture of the fascinating coppers putting their stimulating taser gun in the breeches of breeches of Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, who asked the pedos of the harem of the court of Prince Andrew, you're too late, because Mr. Jeffrey Epstein is now dead, and the prince is in a stir in the palace, and the kids have all escaped. And that's a bit of a happy. Might have been a very good one, but it's a good way to end it. Sorry about that in the middle of that song. I don't think it's ruined the song. See if you like this one. You see, I am a young bludger. I'll bludger as I sit and watch my TV after a long day at work. You see, I sit at Canberra's merry-go-round like I'm a security guard, and I turn on the machine, and that is really good. After I turn it on, it goes round. Everyone has a good time. Then when the merry-go-round finishes, they all get off, and I say, have a nice day. And I ask the children, did you have a good ride? Some say yes, some say no, but most of them enjoyed it. You see, I think about Beck on TV. You see, I work hard at my job and go home and bludge and watch TV. I do think about doing housework, but I get help with that. I wear a nice coloured jumper to work because it matches the fun of the merry-go-round. Occasionally I have Chinese food right after work, but I'm a young dull bludger, and I have fun in this life. I hope that actually poem didn't get ruined by that thing, because it's actually turned out to be pretty good. So that's it down the bottom here. This is the poem I'm going to read tomorrow about my one-man band. Have a listen. I am a one-man band. That is what I am. I am not one person, but a one-man band. I sing songs which are cool and also close to my heart. I bop my way through drama club because I am that cool. Yeah, mate, yeah, I am no fool. Pretty woman walking my way. I say, hey, what do you say? How about we party? One-man band, you see, we party like to AC/DC and Jimmy Barnes. And all 55, yes, how radical it is. Slim Dusty and Rick Springfield go to the Simpson house and have a mad party. You can party to songs on YouTube like this. Rad band, I am watching now. He is Scott Cole. Get down and boogie. You could party to Ed Sheeran and maybe Lady Gaga too. Party when your team is close to picking up a grand final, if that is good for you. You see, I am a one-man band around this goddamn house. Party with me, mate. Don't be a louse. Hope you enjoyed that. And I'm going to read that tomorrow at the Epic. I'm sure there'll be a few people watching, so that's all right. Let's see what's awesome. Gonna have a look at the search for something here. My second song I'm gonna read tomorrow. It's my second song. I hope you enjoy. I have to make sure. I see other people do this. Who gives a shit? The bus, with the wheels going round and around. The bus. People ringing the bell at every stop. The bus. People in cars not respecting them enough to sneak out in front. The bus. Elderly people stopping to talk to the driver and take 15 minutes. The bus. Breaking down in a strange area, forcing frustrated passengers to get out. The bus. Going to your favourite outside event and it takes a while still everything is okay. The bus. You see people in all shapes and sizes. The bus. People yelling at other people at the back of the bus, making each passenger feel nervous. The bus. Just going from A to B, here to there, without a care. The bus. Is there for everyone to share. The bus. Despite all that, it is fun to ride. The bus. With all your problems you can hide. The bus. Going to your destination, back and forth. The bus. Enjoying looking out the window at the streets. The bus. Sometimes you must be patient. The bus. And not yell at other people around you. The bus. Just look though nobody can harm you. Just sit back and enjoy the ride on the bus. And that seems pretty good. I might read a little. This is a dream of mine I had a few weeks ago. It's sort of in winter, but it wasn't winter when the dream was on. So let's have a look. Listen, it's a bit longer. It's not a poem, but have a look. On a nice winter's day, Brian Allen went to a Vinnie's reunion in the Blue Mountains, and Brian bought free 24 packs of beer, which he planned to hide and drink himself. And when Brian got there, he sat next to Iris, who talked about how good the right-wing parties are. And Brian said, if I wanted help, it wouldn't be from those right-wing people. And David came up to me and said, remember, don't be crude. And you don't say rude, you say molest. It is a much better word. And David said, my best part about life is watching the Brumbies play. And Brian agreed with him and opened a can of beer and sculled it down real fast, and then opened a second can. And Brian's dad said, listen, Bryony, don't drink too many. And Brian got really cranky and told his dad to drop dead. And Elizabeth came up to Brian and said, Coca-Cola and lollies are no good for you. And neither is beer. And another thing too, we aren't allowed to have beer at this party. And Brian cracked the fat. And Elizabeth said, and opened another beer, but still Brian kept it hidden. And Joan told Brian if you keep drinking beer, you will be kicked out. And Brian went over to the band and danced to the music in a wild way. And Dad said he has a mental illness and he really thinks it is cool to get drunk. And then Claire came up to Brian and to say, stop drinking. And Brian said, leave me alone. And poured 6 beers out of his stash and drank them all near the trampoline, saying, right-wing people don't like drinking, and they don't really think I am cool. But I will make a mess of the Blue Mountains village and really curse at every person who gets in my way. Patricia Kay said to me, give up beer, and I said, get a life, and cursed and really cursed. And David said, you were such a nice boy. What I want you to give up drinking the forbidden beer, and after those beers, he secretly got more beers, and Brian couldn't handle the beers and lashed out at everybody. And Iris said, we need to say goodbye to Brian. He is too drunk. And when they told Brian to leave, he cursed really loudly at all of his friends. And Claire and David picked Brian up and threw him out and then locked the door. And Brian cursed loudly, wanting the rest of his beers. But they pretended not to listen to him. And Brian was walking drunk right to the nearest bus stop to the city. And there were a bunch of kids picking on Brian. I said loudly, leave me alone. I was kicked out of the party I was invited to, and I really liked those people. And the kids said, "You are too drunk, loser." And the bus came, and Brian and the kids got on, and Brian was thinking when he got into the city, he needs to go to a hotel and recuperate before he went home. And when they got to the city and the kids got off at some stop as Brian, same stop as Brian, and stole all of his money and tied Brian up in the drain pipe near the subway. And Brian didn't notice at first, but when he woke up, he was found tied up to the drain pipe. And a young 14-year-old boy saved Brian and helped Brian get home. And Brian needed a hangover cure. And the 14 said, "Just drink 6 up and goes." And it worked. Brian felt much better, and suddenly Brian felt better, and the 14-year-old bought Brian his ticket. And Brian said thanks and went home. Everything was great until 3 weeks later when the 14-year-old came to Brian's house to get his money back. And Patricia B gave Brian the money to pay him back. And Patricia B said, "No more drinking it. Isn't it right for you? It isn't right for you." And they lived happily ever after till Brian had another drink 4 years away, hopefully. As you say, so stories like that are good, and I'm hoping it turned out all right. You know, everything's cool, man. Everything's cool. Hey. This is a poem. It just starts off, "I am cool." Have a listen. I am cool. I break no rule. I once had bad delusions which made me do bad things. You see, I used to look at kitties' young legs, but one day I carried a Canberra Raiders sock. Canberra Raiders sock to beep those kids up. It really wasn't that I wanted to do it, was the delusion which was in my head. Bad, really bad. I wanted to get behind that, so I started drinking in pubs, dancing on dance floors, which all the pretty women to all the greatest songs of that era. I asked a guy to tie me up. He refused, but I kept pushing him until he eventually tied me up. I finally been kidnapped. I had finally been kidnapped. I wouldn't say no to Steve. He stole my cars and my nana's cat and Smurfette. I hated him. He wanted me to spend all my money on drinking beer and smoking cigarettes. He threatened to tie me up, but take my TV, which I thought was stupid. You see, that started a lot of delusions. I worked at the Rainbow, helping the mentally ill by cooking lunch, but some didn't like it, and I was liked by all of the people there. And I worked at Vinnie's, and I was Santa Claus, and my delusions went haywire. I said I was a different kind of Santa from Australia, and I don't need to wear a heavy coat. I did creative writing, and I thought that the fact I wrote was a reason for people to tease me. I told them they were acting like children. They stopped. I caught the bus and walked around the lake, and I felt people were going to follow me and are planning to kidnap me. I was saying, you can't get me, mate. And the delusions went wild since then. The delusions are starting to go away in a way, but sometimes it's good to talk about your delusions. Do that. Sometimes my hand, even if I'm doing this when I'm reading, you can still see my mouth move because it's all part of delusions. Listen to delusions, mate. Don't listen to delusions. Listen to what your brain's thinking, and then write a story about it instead of trying to think about it. Just having a look at different ones here.